Okay, now we have been using the HubSpot CRM for quite some time, and I'm seeing like, I mean, you are getting familiar with the interface and platform every day, and there are like so much of actually improvements we have to gradually make. Now, there's one improvement that I would want you to do as soon as possible, if not immediately. This is actually okay. I'll explain the problem. The problem is now through various marketing activities we do by driving traffic to the website and running Facebook lead ads campaign, we are constantly creating new contacts. Now, for example, now on our HubSpot, we have now 1082 contacts which we have created. Now, a contact, contact is an individual, right? So with a unique email address assigned for them. Now, the problem that we face is these contacts, they are interested in, some of them are interested in the degree pathway program, some of them are interested in the BIT program of University of Moratuwa. Now, when we generate reports, especially when I actually generate reports for the management meeting on Wednesday and all, I need to know like within the last week, out of all the new contacts we have generated, how many of them are for BIT program, how many of them are for the degree pathway program. Okay, I'm referring to the contacts, not that the deals that you have created. You are creating deals after identifying a contact as prospective. Are we clear about that? You are creating a deal. A deal is what goes on a deals uh, funnel board here. Now, each of these deals in the pool, hold or DP or whatever this category, you are creating the deal only after you identified a contact as prospective. What if we created the contact, but they are not prospective? Then it won't come to this pipeline, right? But in our reporting, we need to understand, or we need to identify how many contacts we created for BIT program and degree pathway program. Now, to do this, what you need to do is when you are dealing with the contact, right? When you are dealing with the contact, now, for example, okay, you get to know that there is a new contact. Let's say Dilki Sandachaya, right? Now, Dilki Sandachaya is a new contact. Now, when you work with this person, what you do is, okay, you click on this person and you go to this person's profile. Now, if I were you, what I'll first do is I'll actually go through and see from where this contact was created. Now, this contact was created from paid social from Facebook, and Dilki Sadachaya clicked on your Facebook and BIT Sinhala ad. Now, that means now this is a contact who is interested in BIT, right? From this, you can actually identify the person is as a BIT contact. Moment you recognize that this person is interested in BIT, all you have to do is in the sidebar panel here, you will see a section called persona, right? This I created new and I added it to the contact details here. Go to the personas and click on this down arrow and you will see DPP or BIT. So in this case, I'm adding this person to BIT and click save. You are done, right? So when you do this, when we are running reports, we can filter by persona whether a certain contact is created for BIT program or created for the DPP program. So I would like you to immediately attend to this in terms of actually new contacts. Any new contacts that you will be working on, please update the persona status, whether that is BIT or DPP. That will help us actually generating report. The other point that I wanted to make here is when you are working on a CRM, there is no such thing as like sufficient level of data or unnecessary data. whatever the data, whatever the information that you know about this person, you have to update it. Now, for example, because we have these people are in the deals funnel, if we are not updating the lead status on the profile, then like later we might actually be in a disadvantage. At this point, we might not have any disadvantage, but maybe some later day we want to run a report and we want to make data filtered by the lead status or lead stage, and if it wasn't updated in the profile, then we are going to face a trouble. So, for example, now Mayura Rupasinghe, if I click on that and I'm going into the details of the deal. Again, you have to be very clear about what is a deal and what is a contact. Now, this is the deal created for Mayura Rupasinghe, and deal stage is called, and deal stage is called. And what about the contact stage? Contact stage, you need to actually click on Mayura Rupasinghe, Rupatunga, right? And go to that. Now I'm on the Mayura Rupatunga's personal profile, not on the deal profile. Now here, if I actually scroll down, yes. So this was updated to lead status as called. Now always make sure the individual lead status is also up to date, so that when we are actually uh, running reports, that helps, right? Now, initially you might feel like, okay, it's a duplicate of work and this and that, all that. But like gradually, as you actually get used to these processes, you will realize how much of time it will save you in future when you are running reports and doing certain analysis. So therefore, like I always say, initially, even if you feel like this is duplicate of work, please keep the lead status also updated while keeping the funnel stated, or rather the deal stated, sorry, deal status, deal stage, as well as the lead status. Both has to be up to date for these persons, right? Now, coming back, the very first thing I mentioned, always make sure that you are updating the persona, right? Like whether this person, now for example, this person is BIT engineering, UIM BIT. So simply scroll down and select the persona as BIT. It doesn't matter whether the person is a qualified lead or a unqualified lead. Always keep the persona updated so that we know that this person was initially inquired about BIT or DPP. Then when we are running reports, it's very easy for us to filter people based on their interested program. That's about it. Yes. So I'm going to share this video with you.